Hey guys, it's Liam Caddison here with episode 3 of The 100 Season 7. Looking forward to delving into this episode, which last week went into a different direction than I expected. We got a full focus on Octavia and Dioza after they went into the anomaly. And we also focused on the present day situation with Echo, Hope, and Gabriel as they were trying to get closer to finding Bellamy. So we didn't have any focus regarding Sanctum, which I'm assuming is going to happen in this episode. So I'm not sure if this is going to go in a direction like Westworld Season 3, where some episodes will focus on like one side of things and the next episode we might focus on another, but I'm not complaining whatsoever because the last episode was a really stunning follow-up from episode 1, and season 7's just been, it's 2 episodes, so it's pretty early to say out of 16, but it's so far so good, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how things go, especially with Sanctum, because we all know, I feel like we all have an idea that Russell is not that the plan to execute Russell is not going to go swimmingly. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens there with Shadeheader now inhabiting Russell's mind. So with that said, let's get into episode 3 of season 7 of The 100. Let's go.
Are you sure about this? Priya
Oh!
let us go in there.
Don't worry. I know what I'm doing.
Where's my red flag? Cause this guy has just jinxed himself.
Cheers.
Yep, there we go. Oh no. Ugh.
May we meet again?
I just wanna jump through the screen, hook Clark, because
Preparations must be made. It's time to talk to Russell.
To feel my death. And so do you.
oh, he's playing the perfect game.
Fire it is. Guard.
Just punch him. Riot, and
If
this
Russell
is
told them to stop, would they?
Of course. His will be done.
but would
Why?
Shadeheader?
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking that'll take him more than just his coffee this morning.
Well, this looks like fun. They're burning Russell at the stake tonight. I'll enjoy it.
Good morning.
You know, you can knock,
You
Raven.
walking out into space, and you still can't knock. It's incredible.
I
Exactly.
think you could lock a door. What's up, Raven? Clearly not the reactor.
Not hard.
If the core reaches 1500 degrees, the whole reactor melts down.
Oh, great.
We'll all die.
You know, just for when you think you're out of it and you want humanity to chill, we got another threat for the end of the world.
What makes you think they'll let me address my people?
Because my people want to do better.
I can tell. Burning a man at the stake is so elevated.
I mean, you're a monster,
Maybe
so
if you ask them nicely.
I'm not the one asking.
if
My
might be a
father's
bit.
son is.
Oh,
So how do we stop it? We push in the control rods, we plug the cracks, we're good.
Just that simple.
I like you. Someone has to go into primary containment to get the control rods in place. It's a
I was
high
gonna say
radiation
it's still
environment.
it's
Med
still a
blend is not
sticky
guarantee, but
situation
it
with the
will
radiation.
help. Oh, God.
What, like that was even a question?
Clark, you have your hands. She dies too when that reactor melts down.
We tell them the truth.
Don't be a fool, guy.
Have some faith in our people, Mother.
I know our people.
I mean, they are having a bit
Why
a
the
bit
delay?
of a lack of faith. Uh-oh. Oh, the charade is going to drop at some point.
We cannot ask the commander. We spent 6 years together in the bunker without a commander. The flame might be gone, but we are still here.
Technically,
We are still one.
You don't need a
people.
flame to
We are
be
all
united.
in danger. Who will be brave enough to help us?
Loyalty isn't. Congratulations. You just lost one crew.
I'm sure they'll come around. If you offer them cupcakes, I'm sure they'll come around.
Who know their way around welding.
What's in it for us?
What is there need
There
to
we
be
go.
something in it for you? It needs to be done.
I had a feeling as soon as Raven was going to turn to them that they
all the
want a higher
juice
price.
that we can drink.
Sure.
I mean, who else is she going to turn to?
What the heck?
If you want to avoid more killing, he'll let his people hear from him first. I talked to him. He wants to help.
Andrew, without one crew,
You
we
have
don't
no
have the people to
idea.
control the
No,
land.
George.
Jordan's idea is worth a shot.
Fine.
But
Russell
it's just
says what he's supposed to, or I'll kill him myself.
please, Indra, because we all know the hubbub.
Lied to them?
I told them what they needed to know. It's an easy job. I could do it in my sleep.
Then why don't you?
Shut up, Murphy. Either they're sick for a few days or we're dead forever.
Now go do your job being a Maury's moral anchor.
Oh shit!
Not fight now.
I was gonna say this is an interesting turn in development.
Core access clear. Go on, Maury. You've got this. As soon
Come on,
as all
girl.
rods are in, the reaction will slow and the core temperature will go down.
I don't know why, but I'm getting Doctor Who Utopia vibes, except this is more dangerous.
Last one.
Oh, fuck.
10 seconds. You gotta get out of there.
She has to get out. Come on, Amori. Move, 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 move. Ow, ow, ow.
What the hell?
Get the decontamination now.
Eee.
Climbing? Damn it! We need the
What
coolant
the
line fixed.
We're working on it. Hey, easy. Come on.
We are all that's left of the human race. Either we live together or die apart. Whatever it is you're planning.
Oh shit! Oh! Oh! Oh!
So much for your peaceful faith.
I mean, this is going to spread, surely.
If he doesn't, these fanatics will have a martyr. I've seen it before. Once
Exactly.
That happens, without one crew to keep the peace, Sanctum will explode.
Exactly. This is playing
They
into.
can't. Suddenly, a nuclear meltdown doesn't seem so bad.
This is playing into the hands of like his survival.
Mistake in.
Oh, yeah, that makes me feel so much better.
Oh shit.
What's going on?
Yeah.
Murphy never went into primary.
You can't leave them in there to die.
They're already dead.
Raven, you really need to think
Enough. If we pull them out, we all die.
Holy shit,
At
Raven.
least tell them.
You think I can rely on those guys to do the right thing when they know they're gonna die?
Faster.
I got it. Come on, let's do this thing.
It's like she's really been the antithesis of who she used to be.
You're one of the prime. It means you have that blood alteration. No wonder they chose you and your lady for the Corps. Once those first two cops were dead, yeah, they was already a murder rap, so we executed the hostages. Leave no witnesses.
Great stuff.
All right. Maybe this will make up for it.
Oh no. It's just like a bomb countdown. 1 second.
Now get.
Raven now has a taste of like what it's like to be in that position where like be in that position, should I say, where she has to decide.
Welcome to the world of Grey.
That's it.
What the hell is taking so long?
She has to decide. That's the thing. She had to decide.
Trusted you. Liar! Hey, murderer! Get off her! Listen, I know.
But I had my faith. I don't know what I have.
You have Clark.
Are you okay?
I see the Clark and Gaia ship, okay? I see that going around.
I realized no matter what we do,
We don't have a choice.
I want to believe that. But we keep ending up in the same place. And every time people die.
Choice and destiny, it's different
Who knows
roads, isn't it?
anyone's?
And it does break your heart when you want to do one thing, but you can't do the other.
Oh my.
Hallowed be your name.
Son of a bitch! I hope that cookie is jammed in your throat and you won't breathe. Fuck you, Russell! Fuck you! Fuck the primes, fuck everyone. That's the thing, though. Postponing his death gives him that... It gives him that chance to survive. You were just wondering, how is he going to bypass his own death when Clark has already announced it? And this is a genius move to make. Just have the riots spread to the point where you can't execute Russell, because otherwise that's going to cause more escalation of the riots, which is not what Clark wants, especially with what she's just said. What if fighting is who we are? She wants to mitigate that as much as possible, but this is sadly... You have to sadly keep this prick alive just to mitigate that damage as much as possible. And that's smart. And I hate him. But man, tense stuff though. Especially for Raven's character. Like, as a character who used to judge what, for example, Abby did. She used to make judgment calls on people who were in that morally grey area. She now has to decide what to do. She now has to decide that some lives might have to be expendable to save a bunch of others. And it's a really big step up in development because, well, as Murphy said, welcome to the world of Grey. She now knows how it feels. It's not something to take joy in, of course, but it's just an interesting development as someone who used to make judgment calls on Clark, on Abby, that she now has to wear the burden of what lives to spend, and if it means to save a bunch of other lives. So ideally, this is not like what is wanted, but this is the thing. Welcome to the world of Grey. Sometimes you might have to... It's that case. Sometimes lives have to be taken in order for others to be preserved. So I just gotta ask the important question of, when are we gonna give Raven a break? Because that's the thing. Like, in one form or another, Raven is like a beacon of pain. Whether it's with a love interest that dies like 2 episodes later, or this crisis that she's having, like, the girl needs a reprieve. And yeah, but I'm not complaining in a sense as well, because this is some great development from for her character, because now she knows how it feels. Not to say that in a very vulgar way, but she had to make a choice at the end of the day. It was either a few lives or everyone. And especially if these are the last remnants of humanity, You can't risk that. You can't risk human extinction because of, especially you wanted to preserve your morality. So you might have to bleed into a few morally grey areas in order to save the last remnants of the human race. Um, and it's not something that she can take pride in. She's hurt by it, obviously. And yes, she did the right thing, in my opinion. It's sad to say, and that's something. It's not something you can sleep comfortably with. And hopefully she does. This is the thing. She's feeling this pain of having to go into that morally grey area. She feels pained about the fact that things were just getting worse for her. That she had to tell a few white lies in order to make things progress a bit forward, and things just kept getting worse for her. And she has no one to give her a hug at this moment. So I'm hoping she does go to Clark, because not only would it be perfect to unload what she feels regarding her being in the morally grey area, but also I'd like to see more interactions between them two. So fingers crossed that will happen. But it was a good episode to develop Raven's character big time. So yeah, I really liked the idea. I think they mentioned about the radioactive. I think they mentioned about that in episode 1. So I had a feeling this was gonna come back and bite us in the ass. Just I didn't think it would be episode 3. I'd think it would be sometime later down the line. But it was good to have a bit of focus on Murphy and Maury and Raven. So yeah, but it was very tense stuff, especially with Amori's gig. Literally, like on both occasions, they literally left it to the last second. With the temperature nearly at 1,500, and Maury just getting out in the nick of time. Of course, she was spewing her guts up, sadly, but at least she did survive for now, because don't count your chickens out, with this being the final season, and you never know who could be on the casualty list. So yeah, but it was really good, because I loved that. Like I said, the development of Raven's character was good, but I also loved developing on that prisoner story. I think he was called Hatch, where he was talking about being a robber and him wanting to basically do better. So I really liked that discussion with him and Murphy, and I don't know. I feel like him talking to Murphy was he was the best person to speak to, because Murphy's quite a complex character himself. So to have a prisoner say, I want to do better," uh, and Murphy wanting to help him out, it was really, really nice stuff. Sadly, he perished, and yeah, he's never going to get that opportunity to redeem himself. But yeah, I thought the radiation side of things in this episode was a really nice touch, especially with the fact that Clark was busy doing her own thing, so we needed Maury and Murphy's help for this. Like, Clark's already got her hands full, so yeah, this kind of quells the situation at Sanctum a bit, like with having Murphy and Maury chime in. Because otherwise Clark would implode with everything that she's got going on, with her grieving about her mother, with Russell, and then the radiation thing going on. So yeah, but not just that though. It gives us more chance to explore Murphy and Amori. So yeah, but yeah, it was just risky enough putting lives on the line to save planet for Raven. And yeah, make comments about things getting a tad riskier, and you could see her getting pulled more and more into that morally grey area, and then she reached the finish line in terms of being enclosed, I guess, in that area. With Murphy making, I think Murphy nailed it on the head. He was effectively the final nail in the coffin, saying "Welcome to the world of Grey." Because after that, she was just riddled with guilt with what she had just done, and not just that though, but seeing Hatch's wife just break down and attack her pains her, because she's just taken away some she is just which is kind of ironic in a sense. She's taken away a loved one from someone's like relationship. But like I said, this is not something she's going to sleep comfortably with. Yes, people get to survive because of this job, and Hatch's life, as well as the 3 other prisoners, they have sacrificed for the greater good. So I'd say Hatch's comments regarding he wants to do better, I feel like that's kind of I feel like I want to take that back, because I feel like he has kind of redeemed himself by being a sacrifice for others to survive. With his act of, with his heroic act, he's managed to save lives he's managed to save lives. So yeah, I take back the comment about him never going to see his redemption through, because he's just done it, in my opinion, by saving everyone's lives. But yeah, like I said, this is not something Raven can sleep comfortably with. But now she's no longer making these judgment calls that she used to make, because now she has become different to what she was in her past. She has now become the person on the receiving end. So I really like that nice reach of development, even if it means Raven's going through more pain again, because we can't get enough of that, apparently. It is great to see that bit of development, that bit of development come for Raven's characters. And so we should go to Russell's side of things as well, because yeah, like I said, I was wondering, how is this son of a bitch going to survive? Because it's there. As soon as Shadeheader took control of Russell's mind, I think we are all adamant on the fact that he was not going to be executed, despite what Clark was going to say. He was going to find some way to weasel himself out of this one, and I think this was a perfect opportunity. I'm not sure if the shooter was staged. I think it was, judging by that woman's comments, especially with the fact that he was happy to sacrifice himself for you, etc. But it was a genius plan all the same, whatever the case was, because like I said, you were just wondering, how is he going to survive? And what better way than to get the masses to revolt, and to make sure that that those riots don't extend and take out people belonging to the Sky Crew, One Crew, etc. You have to suspend any execution activity to quell these riots, if anything. So it plays into his hands perfectly. This is what I was talking about. Like, this is what he wanted. When Indra was saying we can't execute him, so because things are going to get a bit hairy, I was like, this is it. This is what he wants at the end of the day, because it plays into his hands perfectly. It's advantage for Shadeheader, because that means he gets to live, and he gets to carry out his plan that will put everyone in the Sky Crew, One Crew at risk, and he can. Well, I'm not sure about One Crew, because because I'm sure it's gonna come out one way or another. But as soon as One Crew realize that Shadeheader exists, they might follow the Sanctum worshippers and follow Russell, because I think one member made the comment when the truth was finally revealed about Maddie that Shadeheader was the greatest leader, and I'm like, buddy, get some better taste, please. But yeah, with that comment, they will potentially realize that Russell is now Shadeheader, that Russell Prime is dead, and Shadeheader continues, and they might join forces with the people at Sanctum, the worshippers, and he's got himself an army, and it's all hell breaking loose, and it's just a troubling thought that is just playing on my mind right now, and I'm just like, no, please, no. But I feel like it's going to happen, like Shadeheader evading death, evading his execution, the union of the worshippers and the One Crew people is going to happen as soon as they find out that Russell isn't Russell. But will the worshippers... Like, because this is the thing, if they're going to find out, but surely the worshippers are going to find out in some degree, so what is their stance going to be? I'm assuming, like, I don't know, I just have the feeling, well, as long as he's using Russell's body, I don't give a shit. We're following someone, so let's go, because it is quite the intrigue about what are the worshippers going to do. The One Crew people, as soon as they find out that Russell is Shadeheader, they might follow him, but what's that going to mean for the worshippers? It's a very, very intriguing question, but we shall wait and see about that one. But it was a very tense scenario, and yeah, it was really good to have a bit of Gaia development as well, because of course loyalty is one thing different to faith. And with Indra, you can see why she told Gaia not to get ahead of herself, because we don't need this. We don't need them finding out and potentially revolting in this current time whilst we're dealing with Russell. But sooner or later it was going to come out. And whilst this is not the best time to unveil you have a ghost commander, I think the earlier is the better at the same time. Because otherwise you're going to have to keep putting things off, and unless you roll high on persuasion, basically, the tensions will keep rising and rising, and suddenly One Crew are like the primes, where their frustrations manifest and it becomes uncontrollable. So yeah, it's a mix, it's a blend of, it's not the right time whilst we deal with Russell, but the earlier the better, because frustrations are going to mount. So, but I think Gaia, you could see she had so much heart in what she was doing, and yeah, I could respect what she did. But I'm liking the development. I'm liking the fact we're getting more Gaia, not just more Gaia, but also her and Clark interacting, because they interacted quite a bit in episode 1, and now we see them interact in episode 3 when Clark was talking about how this feeling of fighting is more destiny rather than a choice, it seems. So, and I really liked that comment. But overall, I think that was a pretty good episode. Like I said, good stuff developing on Raven's character. It pains me that she's going through heartache and agony once again. But like I said, hopefully she gets to talk to Clark, and I just hope the girl gets a break at some point, because I do feel so bad for her. But it was a very great episode, very tense, and yeah, I'm really excited to see what happens now. Shadeheader got what he wanted. Execution has been postponed, and yeah, scary times ahead of us. So yeah, I will see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. You can check my videos on the right if you want to check out more of my content. You can also subscribe to my media feeds and channel if you want to. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Hope you guys take care, and I will see you guys next time. Toodles!